Well, I don't mind telling you all one and all, but that has been a very stressful little bit of preparation for tonight's show. Sorry for the delay. Good evening, gentlemen. With me tonight, the team are in. Joel, welcome back, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Pleasure, pal. Mr. Sale, hello to you.
Good evening. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, yes. A new day. Can't make a habit of this, but actually, I'll tell you what, there's no way I could have got this ready if we didn't get the extra day. And Mr. Nixon, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Are you all well?
Absolute tickety boo. Right, like I say, right up against it, folks. Do apologise for the delay, but the usual merriment is here. These were the results from round number 9. Saints beating the Giants in a thriller, 13-12. Robins 26, the Warriors 10. Tigers 40, the Broncos 0. Leopards 30, Dragons 2. Red Devils 17, the Wolves 12. And FC going down 12-18. To the Rhinos. Plenty. Well, actually, we discussed all of those happenings on the Final Whistle podcast. That's available for you to go and download and listen to on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. But before we start, and so I can get my breath back, let's take a look at the top performers from round number 9. Are your top performers from round number 9 of the Betfred Super League? The top try scorers this week, each with 2, was Innis Senior of Castleford Tigers, Riley Lum of the Leeds Rhinos on debut, and Kyle O'Donnell of the Leigh Leopards. The most try assists, also with 2, were Matt Moyland, Niall Evans, Tex Hoy, Brodie Croft, and Jack Walker. The top meter maker of the round was Reece Martin of the Leeds Rhinos with 199, Jai Field got 197, Matt Duffy 186, and Tex Hoy 184. The top tackle buster was Tim Lafay of Salford Red Devils with 11. Matty Russell got 9, and Jai Field and Nene McDonald each got 8. The most clean breaks with 2 apiece were Innis Senior, Riley Lum, Tex Hoy, and Joe Mellor. The most offloads came from Herman SASA of Hull FC with 5, and Hakeem Aludi got 4. The top hard meter maker, you've got to be a prop forward, second row or loose forward for this one, was Alex Mellor of Castleford Tigers with 178. Kalepi Tanginoa got 171, Tom Amone 160, and Joe Westerman 124. The top tackler was Luke Yates of Huddersfield Giants with 61, Matty Nicholson got 51, Ben Garcia 50, and Javon O'Connor 48. And finally, the top goal kicker of the round was Rowan Milnes of the Castleford Tigers with 6, Mike Moreland got 5, whilst Mikey Lewis and Reece Martin both got 3. These were your top performers from round number 9. Well, there you go. The top performers from round number 9 are in. Whoa, I tell you what, gents, I'm absolutely shattered. We're going to start by laughing at me. How much grief have I give Tex Hoy?
We called it last week. You'd have a blinder, didn't we? So
unbelievable. And all of those stats there, the top performers. Tex getting his own back. So I'll tell you what, fair play to him when I'm wrong and wrong. But it's only game 1, and it was only against the Broncos. I will withhold judgment. But like I say, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Very interesting round number 9. Greg, didn't get you on the final whistle. Your highlights from round 9?
Oh, I thought the Saints Huddersfield game was a great game. I thought
yeah.
I think if Huddersfield had had Masters playing, they would have won that game. I know that was discussed. The less said about the Salford game, the better. But hopefully Leon Hayes recovers. Absolute dreadful injury. And some good games on show there this weekend.
Arguably, they tried around Riley Lum. What a debut!
Oh, mate, yeah. Lum's a good rugby league name, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, the kid did really, really well. There's a lot, again, I think I've said this before, but there's a lot of good youngsters coming through this season in Super League, and it's good to see them getting the chance.
Absolutely right, gents. Apologies, I'm doing this a bit on the fly this evening because, like I said, I've been right up against it. Good evening to everybody that's in the chat. Craig Rigby, good evening to you. The the WhatsApp group on Sunday night, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. No weekly, but everybody's in the WhatsApp having a right good chat. Good evening to Nicola Burtonwood, proud member of Super League Raw. Dawn Baker in the house, another member. Lee Partington, another member. We know Craig's a member. They're all flying in. Greg Roach, as always. Baz at Kingston, good evening to you as well in the chat. Get your comments going as we talk about all things rugby league. Starting with, for me, really surprising. We put a poll out on this one. Greg, again, I'll start with you. Lewis Dodd to the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The CEO, one of the high bigwigs of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, is in London trying to finalise that deal. The CEO was talking on Rabbitohs TV, saying that that's pretty much a done deal or as close to. Has this surprised you, Lewis? Dodd, NRL?
It has surprised me, I've got to say. There are there any better halfbacks in the competition? I probably think there are. It has surprised me, but you know what? Let's hope he does really, really well and flies the flag for the English game over there. You know, a lot of people said George Williams wouldn't be good enough. And I think he proved a few doubters wrong. He's just, playing the same sort of position. Yeah, surprise. But let's see how he gets on. If it actually works, if it actually comes to fruition, that move. Wish him good luck. I mean,
Don agrees.
Would probably put Wellesby there and have Benison at fullback. But Lomax isn't getting any younger. So, I'm surprised that Saints letting him go. That's the biggest surprise for me, that Saints would let him go given the age of Lomax. Yeah. But, fair play to the kid. Let's hope he does all right.
Well, let's hope he does. I mean, like I say, Smithies has had a good start for his Canberra career. He's been getting great raps down under.
Yeah, who would have thought Morgan Smithies would have been, would have been ripping up trees in the NRL.
But there you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Whatever you're on now, share it right now. That's your job. If you're watching us on Super League Raw, the least that you can do is make sure that you share. Press that share button now. Get all your friends involved. It makes sense. Steph, coming to you, Bazza Kingston have said it. Would they go for Mikey Lewis at Saints?
Well,
Steph?
yeah, potentially, yeah. I was going to say on Dodd, I'd take him to the airport and pack his suitcase as long as he stay away from Lockie Lamb. So whether he'll make it, to be honest with you, I think Mikey Lewis would have been a better fit for South than Dodd. But good luck to him. It's like anything, isn't it? I hope he proves us wrong. I just don't see him as NRL standard.
No, I think it's come a bit early, this. I mean, like I say, I hope he does prove us wrong. It's going to be very interesting indeed. Joel, turning attention to the head coach position, of course, Demetriou was sacked today. A lot of rumours that he might be being touted for Hull FC. There's also a lot of rumours that the Rabbitohs have got a short list that includes Steve McNamara, Willie Peters has been touted, Adrian Lamb has been touted. I'm just going to put cold water on all of them. It's an absolute nailed-on certainty that Wayne Bennett is going back there. So I don't think anybody has to worry too much about that. But what about Jason Demetriou going to Hull FC, or will it be Leigh Briers?
I don't know. I think it's probably a big shout because there'll be a lot of expectation there. And I think the whole faithful will probably be wondering and I guess suspecting that there would be odds on that they'd be wanting result from the off, and they just won't get that. With a coach from that kind of caliber, he's not one just to make a brash decision and start getting games working right. He's going to think about it and get the team right if he's going to go. I just don't see it happening. You might see him trying to go for like the Leeds job if it came up, if there was an opportunity, but I just don't really see it at Hull.
Yeah, I still think Rowley's waiting for that Leeds job. Steph, I know you. Steph, Greg, your thoughts on? Do you think Rowley's probably waiting for the Leeds job?
I think he is. I think I know another name that's been thrown into that for the job is Brian McDermott as well.
Yeah, saw that. The whole the FC job.
That one and the South job, I think as well. No, but I don't think he will. Yeah, I think Rowley's hanging out for the Leeds job. Sorry, Salford fans, but I wouldn't be surprised if Demetriou is the next Leeds coach. He's been touted a lot in this country over the last few years, Jason Demetriou. Yeah. Especially when Tony Smith was in his last few months at Warrington. I know he was a strong favourite, Jason Demetriou, to take over from Tony Smith. So you don't know. I'd like to see how he went in Super League, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really
a lot of talk about Lewis in the chat. Dawn Baker there says you can't see Breeze going to FC, it'd be career suicide. Yes and no. I mean, if you're gonna take on a project, I mean, one, there's the Richie Marler connection. He played with him at Warrington.
And there's only really one place really Hull FC can go from this point. So actually, as a starting project for a new coach, providing he was given chance and time, not a bad project. I mean, if Leigh Breeze, for example, was to go to Leeds with that expectation, that's probably too much too soon. But be interesting to see what happens. Mikey Lewis signed till 2028, Steph. However, I do think by probably the next 2, maybe 3 years, in the same way that Dodd's being looked at. I mean, there's a lot of people saying that Saints might go for Lewis. Lewis wouldn't go and play for Saints, would he, Steph?
No, it's live and let die, isn't it? What do contracts mean in rugby league these days? You know, look at thingy at Salford, Brody Croft. You know, signed that massive deal, and then it just got ripped up, didn't it? So
Bit of a difference though, Steph, because of course Salford were in financial difficulty.
Yeah, there is that. But, you know, if Mikey gets offered you know, we all know the salaries in the NRL are massive compared to what you're getting in Super League. So he could be swayed by that if they offer him a fantastic deal that Hull can't match, and just request the transfer. So
yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean, it's definitely going to be on both sides of the hemisphere. I think there's going to be some real changes. I mean, Sam Burgess, again, the South CEO came out and said Sam Burgess will not be going back to the Rabbitohs. They want him to see out his 2 years minimum at the Warrington Wolves. So Warrington Wolves fans don't need to be concerned about that, which is good news. But I'll tell you what was really interesting. I don't know if you actually saw the interview with the CEO of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They were talking about Lewis Dodd, and they were talking about their recruitment policy. And this was quite a statement. And this is why I think Wayne Bennett, probably behind the scenes, is already in situ, because this is some statement. He said in that press conference that if the new South Sydney Rabbitohs coach did not want Lewis Dodd, he probably isn't the coach for South Sydney Rabbitohs. I mean, that's a hell of a statement and a lot of pressure being applied to Lewis Dodd before he's even signed the contract.
I wonder why there's so much expectation on Dodd, because as we've said, you know, he's not even the best half in his club. You know, Lomax is the better half. So, you know, it's all about expectation, isn't it? You know, you would imagine that if and we know he's not going to do because he's happy in England, but if Lomax was to go over, he'd fill that role and do a very good job. In fact, he might end up being one of the best, but he's not going to do. Doddy, you can see if Doddy was to go, Lewis will probably then have an opportunity to make a place at Saints and probably keep a starting half position and do really well. I just don't think that the only person that's going to lose out there will be Doddy. But I just don't understand why they're putting so much emphasis on what he's going to do.
Really odd. I mean, I'm sorry, I got distracted because Steph mentioned Live and Let Die. I can't get Jane Seymour out of my head of solitaire. She's in there now. She's just
not bad. Not bad.
What can you do? What can you do about that? George King, again, I'll come back to you first, Joel, and then we'll go back round because he's been linked heavily with your team, the Huddersfield Giants. I actually think this would be a good pickup for you, mate.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I wasn't enamoured about it. I wasn't quite sure. But now I've thought about it, it would be the perfect fit. His defence is incredible. I think we can all say that his attack's good, but he's more known for his defensive qualities as a prop. And for us, I think he would link up really, really well with Big Tom. And if he is a replacement for Chris Hill, because I'm presuming that this may be his last year, especially with this injury he's got, it'll play sway his decision. You know, he's got a business. He's got to think about that as well. He don't want to beggar himself up for his business. So if he's a replacement for Hill, and Tom's going to be the big name, that could be a really good combination in the props.
Yeah. I think that's decent. Of course, Greg, we're now coming into silly season. May the 1st contract, so people can go and negotiate. Not an awful lot of announcements today, which suggests that a lot of business has already been done behind the scenes at the parent club. There's not many you'd have expected. I would have expected today quite a few announcements of players who are leaving clubs, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I've totted up the numbers. It's incredible. I think it's almost 170 players.
Yeah,
in Super League out of contract next season. I know Luke Yates Luke Yates to Warrington is gathering pace. Rumours have it on some forums that it's just a case of dotting the I's and crossing the T's on that one, and Luke Yates is all but a Warrington player. So I mean that's the only one of I've heard so far. There are a lot of players, a lot of big names, especially at Huddersfield as well. Who are
Masters is the big one, isn't it? He needs to be signed up, doesn't he?
I mean, I would love to see Masters in the Primrose and Blue, I have to admit.
I think there's many teams that would like to see Masters. I mean, Joel, from your perspective, inside here and that, Masters remaining a Giant. So have you got any concerns there?
Yeah, no, he'll be staying. He'll be staying. I was shocked at the Yatesy one. I'm not shocked that Sam Burgess would want him.
No.
He's the perfect type of player that he wants.
Do you remember, mate? He went for Partington. I mean, there was a big rumours over Ollie Partington. So he's clearly looking at that number 13. And from a defensive perspective, you can't get a better defensive loose forward than Luke Yates.
Yeah, that's why he wants him. I think that's what it is. He's just a workhorse. I think that's the word you'd use for him. I think it'd be stupid of Huddersfield to let him go.
Sorry, Joel, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, mate. But when you think that Cassiano's gone, we're going to lose Dodson. It's opening up space for forwards to come in. I think what Burgess is doing is building a squad where players will interchange, where it's not the first 13 as it's been at Warrington for a while now. The first 13, 14, 15 players, and after that, we've got nobody to come in. He's blooding the youngsters, and he's bringing players in that will do the type of job. I mean, he's a good player. He's Luke Yates. We really like him on Super League Raw, Luke Yates. So I would be delighted if that signing was to come to fruition. I must admit.
Absolutely. And Steph, from your perspective, I mean, as Greg said, there are quite a few players up on the open market. From a Leigh perspective, any certain areas that you're thinking that I think Greg's point there is really valid about the wire, in the fact that you look at the Wigan squad. The Wigan squad's got incredible depth, and I think he's right. A lot of these chasing pack, once you get past the first 17, it starts to get a bit threadbare. Warrington have got a couple of the youngsters coming through now, which is helping. But I think it's a really good point. And we've spoke at length about Leigh's recruitment for this season. Perhaps not prospects, yes, but not players that are going to challenge that starting 17, albeit Hanley being the exception to the rule there. Your hopes in terms of the next couple of weeks, in terms of announcements for Leigh, where do you see it in terms of recruitment?
I think outside backs, I think a lot will hinge on what happens with Lamb in terms of Adrian. He has committed today and said his heart's in Leigh. So, but given his character on that with the Macintosh, he poker face on that one. Who knows? But I think there's rumours Hardacre may be going. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But we are aging in our backs, aren't we? So I think that's where we've got to look at. Maybe fullback. It'd be another one with O'Brien. He's getting on a bit now, and he's obviously picked up an injury as well.
Got Macintosh though, haven't you? There.
Yeah, I've got Macintosh. Yeah, but I do think now our pack's quite young. We're not too bad in our pack. I think the bulk of our recruitment hopefully will be in the backs and get some of those challenging, because most of them have guaranteed the place in the backs at the minute.
Nicola Burtwood really hoping Tom Amone signs. From what you're hearing, is that going to happen, Steph, or you got any concerns over him, Asiata, anybody like that?
I think there's concerns over a lot of Leigh players. There's quite a lot out of contract now. Hopefully, they seem to be a squad that wants to stay with each other. I would say that much. And I don't think finances are an issue at Leigh. We're spending well above salary cap at the moment. So, you'd like to think we could keep them together. But, if your Wigans, your St Helens, your Warringtons, your Leeds come knocking, who knows?
Tom Amone to the wire. Oh, you made me day.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Greg Rigby, proud member of Super League Raw, saying that Conrad Hall out of contract at the Saints. I wouldn't expect him to go beyond this year. I think they need a bit of fresh legs there. I think actually Hall, from an attacking sense, is colossal. But defensively, I think once you get past the 45-minute mark in a game, he starts to be maybe a little bit of a liability. Any other things that have caught your eye, gents? I mean, Greg, I'll start with you. Anything else? Because we've got a lot to get through tonight.
Just the situation at South, Adrian Lamb, as Leigh said, Adrian Lamb's been touted. I hope for Leigh's sake, that comes to nothing. It's the case of contracts. It's the South Sydney. It's the Leon Hayes injury, which is kind of the things that I've been kind of thinking over these last few days.
Yeah. Well, let's take this opportunity as Rugby League supporters. best wishes to Leon Hayes, a real talent. And let's hope he gets a speedy recovery. And to everybody who's watching, gentlemen, let's raise a glass. Good evening, one and all. The Brewdog is flowing this evening. Great to have you with us here at Super League Raw. Raise a glass back. We can't see you, but we know you're raising a glass back. Right, let's. We've got, like I say, we've got loads to get through tonight. So, and it's going to be good. Right, we've done this a couple of times, haven't we? Let's all laugh at the Albert Goldthorpe, and let's all laugh at the Man of Steel. So we'll just have a bit of fun with this just for a minute. Let's just pick a few out and see what your thoughts are on this. There was one actually. Again, forgive me, I am a little bit on the hop tonight, but there was one where I was like, where on earth did that come from? Oh dear, it's not saved. Never mind. There was a Man of Steel one today. I think it might have been at Hull. Was it Hull? No, it wasn't. Forgive me, folks. Like I say, for whatever reason, it hasn't saved, which is really disappointing.
Maybe somebody could drop it into the chat.
Yeah, there was a Man of Steel one today. All right. Oh, that was it. Oh, that was it. That was it. Oh, that was it. Ethan Ryan at Salford. Did anybody see Ethan Ryan as man of the match at Salford? Anyone?
Yeah. Crazy.
What a legend. Yeah, he was Ethan Ryan. The Man of Steel gave 3 points to Ethan Ryan. You just couldn't make it up. And here's one for you, right? They didn't give a single point to Tim Lafai.
He was best player on the pitch.
It's just
I couldn't see the best player on the pitch.
Oh,
all they've done is gone like this.
Mate, well, I mean, you know, not normally we have a laugh at the Albert Goldthorpe, but I'll tell you another one that was really good was the Saints game, Joel, your game. Mark Percival got a point. I didn't see that on the night, did you?
What did he do?
Well, he kicked a couple of goals. He didn't even kick. Did he kick?
I think he ran on the pitch, kicked the ball, and then ran off.
Yeah, he kicked 2 goals. They gave 2 points to Lachlan Lamb. Now, whilst Lachlan Lamb, I thought, had his best game of the season, I'll go as far as to say that, in my opinion. They gave Lamb 2, Moylan 3, O'Donnell 1. Nothing for a moan. Wow. Again, really. I mean, was Lachlan Lamb as good as Tom Amone?
No, it should have been Moylan, O'Donnell, and then Amone.
Yeah.
And Latelli probably mentioned in dispatches.
Yeah. Like I say, really, really bizarre. The Albert Goldthorpe gave Chris Satai a point in your game. Can you believe that?
How any Catalan players got a point in that game is beyond me.
Exactly. They've lost 30 points to 2. Was it 32? Was it 32?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And they've given Chris Satai a point. You just couldn't. Like I say, we like this little section because, you know, it just makes no sense. Everybody who's watching is probably having a right good giggle alongside us here. Like I say, don't forget, we will be catching up a lot of question marks. Steve Cartlidge is with us, another member of Super League Law. Good evening. And he's actually saying it's been shocking beer promotion. Not at all. We want Brewdog to sponsor us today. That's what we want. At some point. Oh, Stella, he's joining Joel.
We could have Ian Johnson on the podcast because he's a fellow journalist into how these Goldthorpes get.
Well, I mean, you know, hopefully Ian holds his fellow journalists to account because, quite frankly, some of these scorings are nothing short of. Yeah, I know that's an him joke. Yeah, from Steve Cup of Tea, that'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, like I say, incredible how these points are given out every single month. It does make us snap. Right, lads, we've got lots to get through. As I keep saying, I'm like a broken record, aren't I? Should we announce the Super League Raw Team of the Month for April?
Why not?
Why not? The time has gone today. It's been a real tough one to get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the Team of the Month for April Super League Raw style. So there it is, Team of the Month, gentlemen. Anything that's got a star next to it, we just need to give a big rap here. If the ones who've got a star next to it were in the team of the month in March. They backed it up in April. So Adam Swift. In fact, I'll go through because obviously we're on the podcast. So Ryan Briley at fullback. That'll surprise many, but when you compare Briley to Duffy, who is his closest contender, Steph will be sitting there over Moylan. Moylan has come to the fore the last 2 games and has played multiple positions, but he's in great form. There's no argument about that. But he has played in the halves as well as at fullback. But Briley does edge him at fullback, I'm afraid to say. Swift, Lafai and Hiku. All were in the March team of the month. They remain in this month's team. Innis Senior on the wing, the standoff Johnny Lomax, scrum half Harry Smith, the 2 prop forwards James Harrison and Herman S.A. That'll surprise many, but S.A. in a pretty poor Hull FC team has been phenomenal for Hull FC. Go and check out the stats. They don't lie. He has been punching for Hull FC in a team that's been right up against it. Danny Walker is the Super League Raw hooker of the month. In the second row, Lachlan Fitzgibbon and Kalepi Tanganoa retains his position with Luke Yates at loose forward. On the interchange bench, Ricky Latelli in a losing side. Yes, they won well against Catalans. Let's not forget, they lost the 2 before that, albeit they were competitive. Ricky Latelli, very much deserving of the interchange bench. Oliver Partington for Salford, who's been sensational at loose forward. Cameron Smith also, and Cruz Lehman. The 18th man, just for Mr. Sales purposes, would have been Kai O'Donnell. Kai O'Donnell, very close to getting in the Super League Raw team of the month, gentlemen. So there you go. There's the team of the month. Steph's looking a bit disappointed for Mr. Moylan, so we'll bring Steph in first. Steph, that is, trust me, go and check it. I'm happy to send you anything you need to quantify what I'm saying to you. But that is the team of the month. What's your thoughts?
I don't disagree. I think Bradley's been outstanding this month. Like you say, Moylan's only played a couple of games there, but what I would say is watch out for Matty Moylan at fullback because he's been outstanding the last couple of games he's played there. So hopefully next month he'll be there. But no, some really, really good performances in there. Adam Swift and Tim Lafai for me have just been absolutely outstanding this month. Absolutely outstanding. And also Lachlan Fitzgibbon as well and Tanganoa in the second rows have been outstanding. So yeah, not much to disagree with there at all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a few. I mean, fair play here. I mean, Phil Webb said he didn't realise Harry Smith played against Rovers. Look, bottom line is it's over the 3 games. That's what we judge it on. We look at it evenly. We're pretty. Cruz being consistent. Yeah, Cruz Lehman has been outstanding. Greg Roach asking about Cruz Lehman's consistency. Cruz Lehman in the month, Greg, has been really, really strong for the Wigan Warriors, and he's getting stronger every month. So again, I'm happy to stand by that. I'll be honest with you, Moses Mbai, very close at hooker. He was certainly in the thought process. People who are lucky to miss out, I'll come to you, Greg, in a moment. I go through this. Fullback Matt Duffy has had another good week, another good month. On the wing, Liam Marshall, very close. In the halves, real tough in the halves. You could argue for Clune, Lahea, Williams, also Brodie Croft. All of those have had stellar Aprils, but Lomax and Smith do edge them when you get into the detail. The prop forwards, Chris Satai, and surprisingly, Mikkel Agileski has also had a really good April, albeit under the radar. But yeah, Mikkel Agileski in terms of meters and tackle bus, etc., really strong. And then in the second row, Tarek Sims alongside Kai O'Donnell, very unlucky not to be in it. Greg, your thoughts?
Yeah, I must admit, I'm surprised Danny Walker's in there. I thought Cruz Lehman, like Greg says, I agree with Greg. I thought Cruz Lehman has had a good month, and By's had a good month. But going back to Steph, Lachlan Fitzgibbon has been an absolute revelation over the last few games. I mean, absolutely the second row we've been crying out for. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with that team.
Good man. And Joel, you must be delighted to see Mr. Luke Yates at loose forward there, mate.
Yeah, it don't surprise me. He's a cracking player. We often sometimes think about over the whole season how they played. Yeah. But obviously this is the team of this particular month. And I think you've got every one of them absolutely spot on. And the biggest thing as well is we talk about how strange it is when they're doing the Albert Goldthorpe's and the Man of Steel points. When they're giving points to losing team players, we're never going against that. And this shows here, SESA. He's on the team of the month. They've had back-to-back losses, and it just shows that it's good when you're celebrating people's individual performances because they've not got it on the field. So that is a really good advert for himself as a player who's come over and really put the hard work in a tough time. And then you're looking at Tanginoa. I think he's probably going to be in the team of the month every month if he carries on. He's just such a wonderful player. He's probably the best second rows I've seen in a very long time.
Well, what I would say to you there, Joel, and thank you very much for your comments there. I doubt that 10 teams are going to be represented in any other team in the month. We don't do profile. We don't do star names. We call it straight. We look at who is playing in what. So Aitman SASA has been in a losing team. Ricky Latelli has up until the last round. But the bottom line is, in their position, they fully deserve to be in this team. That's how we judge it. How are they playing as an individual? Yeah, the team is one thing. That's all dealt with in terms of league position. This is about individual quality. And Herman SASA, in the month of April, he's made 321 metres. He's tackled 82 times. He's made 15 tackle busts. He has been phenomenal, improving week on week in a really poor Hull FC team that's been on the back foot for most games. So like I say, we stand by this. That's the team of the month. And yeah, as you know, it's time to get in the chat. One of those players will be the Super League Raw Player of April. We'll come back to that at the end of the show. Have a think about it. Of those players that you're seeing on the screen right now, who would you vote for? And it's only the 1 to 13. The interchange does not count. So the 1 to 13, because they're the best in their positions, who would you have as Player of the Month? What do you mean by the star? The star means that they were in the March team of the month. So they've actually retained their position, Luke. Luke Earnshaw there. New name. Good evening, Luke. Welcome to Super League Raw. The star means that they were in the team of the month in March. So they've retained the position. So in terms of consistency, absolutely outstanding. Right, gentlemen, we're now really going to make it interesting. We'll come back to who people think is the player of the month later in the show when we announce that. You will see there, I have not picked a coach of the month because we're going to debate it right now. There's that many coaches that are on 2, and I've not picked it. We're going to have a good chat about this and get involved in the chat. Bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, and this is, let me just bring this back onto the screen. Bottom line is this. A lot of the coaches, 2 and 1. We don't count Challenge Cup, as you know, 2 and 1 in the league. That's where it sits at this moment in time. And there's so many of them, it's unbelievable. So because it is so tight, we've had to look at the Challenge Cup. We can't not. There has to be some sort of tiebreaker to whittle it down. So it's only right and it's only appropriate that the 4 coaches that are in the Challenge Cup quarterfinals are the contenders. Okay? That is Ian Watson, Matt Peat, Sam Burgess, and Willie Peters. Now, apologies for Willie Peters' colours. Should have changed them. But like I say, been up against it. It's a little thing. I am a perfectionist. Right, Ian Watson started the month in 9th, finished the month in 7th. He's won, as you can see there, including the Challenge Cup, 3 games, lost 1. They've all done exactly the same. They've scored 120 points in those games and conceded 65. They have beaten Hull FC, Catalan Dragons, Leeds Rhinos, and lost very close to Saints 13-12. As for Matt Peat, again, 3 wins, 1 loss, 146 scored, 42 again. Started the month in 4th, finished it in 3rd, climbed a place. They have beaten the Leopards, Tigers twice, and they've lost, of course, the OKR 26-10 last week. Sam Burgess started 3rd, ended the month 4th, so dropped a place, beaten Leeds, St. Helens in the Challenge Cup, Leigh Leopards, and lost, of course, to Salford at the weekend. 135 for 42 against. That'll please Burgess. Far better defence in 2024 thus far for the Wire. Matching Wigan, not a bad start, that one. And then Willie Peters started the month in 5th, remained in 5th. He's beaten London, the Leigh Leopards, lost to the Dragons convincingly in Perpignan, but beat Wigan last week, 26-10. 70 against. Those are the contenders, gentlemen. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat about it. I'll leave that on the screen. Get involved in the chat. Greg, I'm going to start with you. This is close. How do you think?
I could be totally biased and say Sam Burgess, but I'm not. I'm going to say Ian Watson because the performances, I don't know whether Joel will agree or disagree, the performances of the Huddersfield Giants have been improving week on week. I think they had a rocky start. They've improved week on week. He's taken them up the league table. They've played some decent teams there. And I think, Sam Burgess knocking Saints out of the cup is no mean feat, but we tend to do that a lot, Warrington, recently. So, I think, for me, Ian Watson, simply because they should and they could and should have beat Saints. If they've had Masters in there, they would have beaten Saints. I'm sure of that. So I'm going in Watson.
A lot of love for Watson. Craig Rigby's gone that way. Steve Cartledge, Dawn Baker says it's really close, but she also has gone for Watson. Robert Hickson has gone for Watson. A lot of love for Watson. Steph, over to you.
I'm going to do mine in reverse order. So I'm going to have Matty Peat in fourth. Because yes, he's won 3, but the 3 he's won have been in teams in 9th and 10th.
Yeah,
they've only beaten, and the team they lost to obviously was Hull KR. So that's why he's at 4th for me. Then you go to Willie Peters in 3rd. Again, they beat London Leigh. They've had a very good win against Wigan, but also got a good added to Catalan away. Sam Burgess, I've been raving on all of weekly how good he is and how much of an improvement I'm seeing him there. 3 good wins there against pretty good opposition. But when you look at Ian Watson, for me, he's the coach of the month. He's won 3 and he's only lost 1 by 1 point away to St Helens, which is still, even though it's not a win, it's still an incredible result to go to St Helens and only lose by a point. So for me, Mr. Watson's the coach of the month.
Well, again, let's give him a wrap. Luke Earnshaw. Luke, make sure you get over to our Patreon website. Maybe consider becoming a member and be a part of the Team Talk membership and be a part of the Final Whistle podcast on a Sunday night. That'd be interesting. And based on this comment, sounds like he's an intelligent man and he can put a good argument forward. Completely agrees with Watson. He's saying he's totally changed the style of play and it shows in the results. And the dressing room, like they're playing with a smile on the face, Joel. What's your thoughts?
Before this graphic came up, I had 2 coaches in my head. And 2 of them coaches are on this list here.
Yeah.
Both Ian Watson and Sam Burgess.
Yeah.
Matt Peat's a great coach, but he's also coming to a great team.
Yeah.
Willie Peters is a great coach, but we expect him to be so. So that leaves two things for me. Ian Watson has done extremely well. But for me, Sam Burgess has just done that little bit better, and I'll explain why. 2 factors. The first one is that we, as the Huddersfield fan base, was expected to do what we're doing this year, last year. So essentially, we're just catching up a year later. The other big one, I think this is the biggest reason for my saying this, is Sam Burgess, before this, is the only person who's not been a head coach before this year. And you can be around as many head coaches as you want. But until you become one, you don't fully understand the pressures, the strains, the headaches. And he's tackled it really well. He's transformed the Warrington team. Last year, you're thinking, what can you do to win? At the moment, it's looking more like, what can they do to lose? Because he's got them playing a style of rugby that you would see in an NRL club. And that's exactly what Warrington need and expect. So for me, he tips it because he is the most inexperienced coach there is in this list that has probably done the best jobs on some of the bigger teams. Because when you beat Leeds were doing okay. And you beat them convincingly. You then beat Leigh, who came back and had a really good game. Leigh played amazing in that game, and you still managed to beat them. So for me, I'm going to go with Sam. What's Alex say?
Yeah, Sam. Alex Sharp. Good evening, Alex. He made his debut on the Final Whistle this week. At this point, last year, Joel Warren were 8 for 8 and Super League champions. Big rap for you there from RIP Tater. Good weather. Joel is spot on, to be honest. And this is why Super League Raw is what we Super League Raw, isn't it? Nobody debates with the fans form like we do. We've got the chat going on. You've got a Huddersfield Giants there. Saying it's Sam Burgess, but you're being overruled here. It's 3-1. I agree. I think Ian Watson. I think Watson And a lot of the fans forum in the chat saying exactly the same thing. Last year was diabolical at Huddersfield Giants, absolutely diabolical. He's turned it around. Even a couple of games into this year, we were going, whoa. But actually, credit to him. The team are playing well. I think some of his acquisitions are really starting to play off. I mean, we waxed over them already. So, I think based on the chat, based on the screen, Ian Watson will be the super. We are a democracy. Ian Watson is the Super League Raw Coach of the Month.
Don't forget as well. I think with Watson, we were all predicting that he was going to be one of the coaches to be sacked, and then the sky's going to fall in, for him. So for that to be totally turned around deserves massive praise for everybody.
Yeah, I mean he's got the spectre. He had the spectre of last season hanging over him, didn't he?
He did.
So, well done, Ian Watson.
Well, JT Morris disagrees with Burgess, said he should have lost the league. Do you know what? But that was the difference between Warrington 23 and 24. They would have lost the league last year. And that's why, going back to Joel's point, Burgess has brought a steal to Warrington. And like Wigan, like Saints, they're winning ugly, and that's the mark of a team that is improving. Joel mentioned it in final whistle in terms of his team. Yes, they lost the Saints, but they were celebrating defence. They were right in that game. So bottom line is, interesting. But JT, welcome to Super League Raw. Not seen you here before. Great to have you coming in this evening. Keep the comments coming, and of course, we've just got a Partisan Robins fan there saying up the Robins for no other reason than up the Robins. Why not? Yeah, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Up the Robins. Why not? Right. Gentlemen, it has come to that time of week. We don't know what time of week it is. It's the time of week where
I don't even know what day of the week it is.
Well, neither do I, based on getting our list lot ready for tonight. It's been a right result. But anyway, it's the time of the week where we sit back and we celebrate the team of the week for round number 9. Here it is. Is proudly sponsored by the Good Estate Agent. Join the Rugby League community in trusting Stefan and his team when you are buying, letting or selling property.
League Raw Team of the Week for round number 9 with the Good Estate Agent for 2024. Here we go again at fullback. Well, Hull FC might have a Moy, but Leigh have the full Moylan. And what a player he is. Not since St George have we seen a Dragon Slayer of such guile and strength. Sensational at 2. Well, he left the black and white snub, and you would have had to have been dumb not to have given Riley Love the man of the match on debut for the Leeds Rhinos. His first try was quality at 3, and back from HIA with a sparkling performance was Oliver Gildart. Whilst HQ got all the attention, Gildart went under the radar with an all-round performance that needs to be recognised, and we at Super League Raw recognise you, Oliver. At 4 is once again Tim Lafay. He was like a bowling ball racing down the lanes against the wire as one by one the Wolves defenders scattered. Strike on the wing once again is Innis Senior, who is in great form for the Castleford Tigers. James Meadows felt the big don't argue off Senior for his first score of 2. As Lingard said, the left edge is all Innis is. At 6 is Rowan Milnes, also off the Tigers. We hope his injuries are behind him as Danny Richardson looks for a loan. We all know he has the ability to be a great player in Super League. Best wishes, sir. At 7 is the Saints captain and saviour, Johnny Lomax. His calm and assured match-winning drop goal had shades of Sean Long as the Giants were floored by his marksmanship. Who needs a firing squad when Johnny could do it alone? At 6 is Tom Amone of the Leigh Leopards, back in the team of the week after dominating it in 2023. Big Tom did big minutes, big meters and big tackles, and as sure as eggs are eggs, he will be back in the weeks to come. At 9 is the man who changed the game on Thursday night at the totally wicked stadium, Daz Clark. Who needs a complicated strategy when a little slap and tickle of Jake Connor is all you need to send him into meltdown and his teammates distracted. At 10 is Jesse Sue, and you know why Wigan feel blue about Jesse. Oh, I flooring Liam Powell on his way to a 4-pointer to instill belief into the Robins that Wigan were there for the taking. Devastated. At 11 is Kai O'Donnell of the Leopards, a player in brilliant form. He kiboshed the Dragons on the night with a little help from his friends. He was here, there and everywhere. Oh bloody, oh blada. At 12 is Kalepi Tanginoa, who scored his 4th try of the season against the Warriors. It's fair to say Wigan were truly tangoed with the zest of oranges and the naughtiness of apples. Apples, daggnammit. And finally, at 13 is Luke Yates. Forget Trident. If the British government are looking for the best way to defend our shores, just send our enemies a video of Luke's greatest hits and they would not dare to assault Old Blighty. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your team of the week for round number 9.
So there it is, the team of the week for round number 9. As always, I come to my old mate, Mr. Nixon, first, and Greg Roach has already said it, tangoed! Absolutely. Over to you, Greg. Team of the week, happy with that?
Yeah, any Beatles reference to me, mate, is a winner.
It is indeed.
Yeah, can't argue with that at all. I think young Riley Lum has made an impact. I think he deserves to be there. Luke Yates again. I mean, blimey, he's a thunderball of a player, isn't he, that guy? He just smashes them out of the way. Clark, I don't think it was Clark that slapped Jake Connor, was it?
No, he did. What he had a little bit of a spat with him at one point. I mean, I think
Jake
got
Connor
up to a 3.
Yeah, Jake Connor was complaining they dislocated his eyelash,
Dawn Wellesby played at standoff this week.
Yeah, so I think it's a good team, that, mate. Yeah, can't argue.
Good. Joel, Mr. Yeah, I mean, obviously you'll be happy Yates is there. Happy with that?
Yeah, very happy. Especially, I was quite glad that Kyle O'Donnell was in there.
Yeah,
because the shift he put in with tackles is quite incredible.
Yeah,
I think after that game, I think he definitely deserved to be here. But yeah, it's great to see, isn't it? And then you're looking at in his senior. I've not given him the best of raps over the past few weeks, but fair play to him. He's doing well at Cass, and long may it continue for him.
Yeah, no, I mean, his first try was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. I mean, the Moreland and Lamb combination was just, it's what we love this game for. Forget all the controversy, forget talking the game down. Just go and have a look at that on repeat. Beautiful stuff. Mr. Sale, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, Tomo Moan's run as well. I don't know if people have seen that, but, a prop forward going 60, 70 metres, it's like he had a license to kill Tomo Moan on that game. But, there's some outstanding performers in this team of the week. Gildart, I thought, had his best game of the season for OKR as well. I've already talked about the other Leigh players. And Senior as well, who's, doing really well, I think, at Castleford.
Well, there you go, Mr. Sale. It's a Bond fest. The man with the golden pun, Mr. Sale, this evening. Good effort, sir. Good effort indeed.
Thanks, Dodd. Oh, I've got 2 in as well.
You have. But it's a Bond fest for Mr. Sale tonight. How many? I think Craig Rigby might have sent him a private message. How many you get into Super League Raw? Something's not going right. Unbelievable. I think Luke's on fire. Luke Earnshaw, welcome to Super League Raw. How many people have steamrolled Farrell? The answer: not many. Not many, Luke. I think that was a real telling moment in the game. But like I say, we call it straight on Super League Raw. That is our team of the month. I think it's a really solid quality team of the month as well. Really delighted to have announced that this evening. Right, okay, we're very close to looking at round number 10. We've still got the player of the month to announce for the month of April. Keep getting yourselves in the chat with regards to that one. But before we do, all you members are on standby, because from tomorrow you will be getting a brand new In Conversation into your inbox, and a week on Wednesday, a week today, this will be going on general release for people to enjoy on our podcast and webcast. Here we go. One of my mate who do Super League Raw, where both of his girls play rugby league. One of them is actually number 5 now for Warrington Wolves, Rebecca Nixon. She's a name to keep an eye out for. So one of our presenters, she plays number 5 for Warrington Wolves. She got her first shirt this year. And have you had a chance to go to the Nines? Because I went to that for the first time last year, and I thought it was brilliantly done.
In Victoria Park,
Vicky Park, and then obviously the Salford community for the finals.
Yeah,
really good.
I was there at Victoria Park. I think it was last year.
It was.
Yeah, it was last year. It was unreal. And again, so many young girls getting involved. So many, just so many faces. They're famous faces for girls to be able to just pull aside and chat. Like, Caitlin Beavers. I remember watching her walk across, and little girls calling her over, and she just happily goes over and chats to them. And, for them to see these women play up close and personal, it's unreal.
there you go. The nicest in conversation. A little bit of a plug for your girl there, Mr. Nixon, as well. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, she'll enjoy that.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will.
enjoy that.
9th, was that this week or next? Is it this week coming?
It's Sunday, the 9th.
Yeah, the 9th. So for those of you who have never been to the 9th, you're Jenna there giving it a big pat on the back. 9th at Victoria Park this coming Sunday. It's a great day. Fantastic if you've got daughters, because the players, they're in the crowd, they're signing autographs, they're having photos took. It's a great occasion.
It's real. You know, my youngest was having a picture taken with Amy Hardcastle last year and Jodie Cunningham, and these girls are like the superstars of the game, and they just come over and they chat, and it's brilliant to see, and it's a great event, and I love the finals day at Salford. It's a real good event, and the sausage rolls are fantastic there. Keep plugging those sausage rolls, but I'm not getting any sent to me through the post. But yeah, it's a real good day. So if you can get down to the 9s on Sunday, it's free entry. Plug. Get yourself down there. It's real good event.
It's a community game, rugby league. It brings the family together. It's fantastic. Great interview, that one with Jenna Brooks. That will go to the members tomorrow. If you actually go and try and search Jenna Brooks, very private character. You don't get much online where she's concerned. She does a really good job in keeping a private life private. But really interesting conversation about her career, how she sees rugby league, a passion for the game. Well worth a watch. That's going to be uploaded onto YouTube and to our podcast next Wednesday. But the members, as always, get a week in advance. They will get that tomorrow. More in conversation guests to be announced in the coming weeks. We've got quite a few on the way. I'm sure that both Joel and Steph will be looking forward to seeing Miss Brooks have an in conversation.
I think it's great to have a female voice on as well. Yeah. And everything, good and more to follow. Hopefully we get some more women in Super League on as well.
Absolutely. Completely and utterly agree with that. Right, okay. Like I say, lots to get through this evening, lots to get through. And this is on the horizon. Welcome one and all to the first Super League Raw quiz. %, Roby. And the good news for those who didn't get the fastest finger first is that everybody is wrong. It's Alan Tate. Steph's winning by 4 now. This is not just unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. It's 42, which means that Dawn, the girl that has been talking all night, saying that she's got everything wrong, the one that's been giving us a bit of karaoke all evening, 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Dawn, congratulations, you are getting an official Hull KR rugby ball. Go and get it signed. So tickets are available now. They are on Eventbrite. The first come, first served, limited places. It was a great night in April. Dawn Kirkby will be defending her title. It was a good night, boys, and it's back on the 13th.
I enjoyed it. It was really good. Really good.
Bargain for a night's entertainment, £3.40.
Bargain, absolutely. Yeah, 3, and we've already brought.
You can drink.
Mate, it's and actually, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw there, free for members. It's £2.99 a month to be a member. Just saying, you might want to consider that. If you want to go and check out the Super League Raw membership, there's only one place to go. It is our Patreon website. There it is, www.patreon.com/Super League Raw. Nobody does what we do at Super League Raw. We're going to bring the community back together on the 13th of May. It's a quiz night, 5 rounds. You need 2 smartphone. You need 2 smart devices, one to watch, one to play. So your phone to play, but you'll also need one to log into Zoom, to interact, to get involved. There was some great banter on the night. It was a really, really good night. And believe you me, it's going to be outstanding. Okay, so there you go.
Nobody does it better, Dave.
Nobody does it better. In terms of, we've getting asked which tier Patreon is the quiz open for. It is for, God, they've caught me out here. what's our 6 again? So it's 6 again members and above. That's where we are with regards to that. But yeah, get involved, become a member of the Team Talk. And ladies and gentlemen, there will be a prize. Of course, it was a signed rugby ball last time. We're waiting for Dawn to post a picture of that for us with Ryan Hall. But this month there will be there may be 2 prizes this month. I won't say too much about that, but there may be 2 prizes. And on that note, it'd be amiss of me not to say that don't forget the brand new Super League Raw merchandise range is available for you at Patreon. There's the Don't Go Out Tonight t-shirt, proudly displayed there on the screen. Don't go out tonight unless you're red and white. I see trouble on the way. Of course, plenty more where that is. It's always our year. Warrington World Club Champions 2024. And Welcome to the Jungle. Just 4 of the t-shirts that we've done. More will be on the way. We've already sold a few, which is absolutely fantastic. Do take a look at that. More designs are in the melting pot at this moment in time. Yeah, quiz night on its way back. Can't wait for that. 13th of May. Only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it is. Scary.
2 weeks away. It's going to be fantastic. Right, more Super League Raw news. The Super League Raw Fantasy League. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, a season ticket is up for grab for all the members. The members are playing for a season ticket, and currently Ryan Birch remains in pole position for that season ticket. Scott Eastwood, though, another Giants fan, he's in pole position for the non-members prize of a replica shirt. The best player on the week, well, that was Paul Edwards, who's now in second with 775. Oh, sorry, actually, no, it wasn't Paul Edwards. My apologies. He was second best. It was actually Paul Whitehead, a Leeds fan, 782 on the week. Marvellous effort, gentlemen. Very, very well done indeed. For those of you who've missed it, the official Super League Raw nominees for Player of the Month are in. Only one of those players we didn't have in our team of the month, which was Matt Duffy. We've done the analysis. Ryan Briley has edged him slightly, but everybody else that you're seeing there on the graphic was in ours. So not really got much argument there with the people who have done those nominations. So that's a little bit more news for you that we haven't already announced. Boys, this is a great chat, great night, great entertainment. Right, it's time to look forward to the round number 10. It's on its way. And as always, this part will become the prediction show, which is a separate show for people who just like this particular part. Believe it or not, people like to just watch the prediction show, not the whole Super League Raw. Who knew? There you go. So it's sponsored, of course, by Rugby League 3/4. So let's give them a plug, and then we'll start to look at round number 10.
He's target 5. Here comes
Love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
Yeah, he's got player.
So there you go. Greg Roach in the chat. Super League Raw member. Quiz night was great fun the last time. Multiple choice guesses galore. Yeah, it is a multiple choice quiz. Test your rugby league knowledge. Please do take a look at that. The details for that, whatever you're watching this on, whether it be the podcast, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Facebook, the link to the tickets is in the description for what you're actually watching. So once we finish the show tonight, go and click on that link. Go and take a look at it. Book your ticket. It will be on Zoom. We'd love your company on the 13th of May. Right, round 10. Gentlemen, this again has got some real little beauties involved in it, starting with the repeat of the 2023 Grand Final, the Wigan Warriors taking on the Catalan Dragons. I'll be joining my mate Peter at the DW on Thursday night. Really looking forward to this one. Then the Giants go up against the Red Devils, 6th against 7th. The Rhinos take on the Broncos. The Wolves go up against Hull FC. The Robins take on Saints, another mouthwaterer there. And finally, the Leopards taking on the Tigers. Now, many will argue that the top game is game of the week. However, based on my commitments this week, I can't do a 30-minute show in the time for it to be Warriors Dragons. I agree with you, it probably is game of the week, but I don't want to shortchange it. I want to do a 30-minute preview show. That will be the Robins against the Saints because I haven't got the time to turn that around between now and tomorrow. So even though many will say Warriors and Dragons have to be the game of the week, Dave, because of time constraints, I can't get all the data and all the analysis done in time. So it will be the Robins and the Saints. That will be being uploaded on Friday for your viewing pleasure as game of the week. Hopefully that makes perfect sense to everybody who is watching this evening. I just don't want to shortchange you. I need to do a game in a week, and that's the game in a week we're going to do. There you jolly well go. Right, we're going to kick off this Thursday night, gentlemen. This is a beauty. Little bit of a change to the graphic going in this one. Currently positions second against third. Fantastic. Wigan 2-9 on, 18-5 the Dragons. I put Junior Nsemba and Tarek Sims as the players to watch. I think that's going to be a really interesting little battle there. Nsemba in good form. Sims has been outstanding. Another player who was very unlucky not to feature in Team of the Month. He's been very, very consistent. The last 5, Wigan win against the Red Devils, lost against the Saints, of course, won against the Leopards and the Tigers, and then lost again against the Robins. As for the Catalan Dragons, they beat the Tigers, they beat the Wolves, they beat the Saints, they beat the Robins, but they fell foul to the Leigh Leopards re-emergence last week, of course, at the LSV. Right, because we're doing this on a Wednesday, happy days, gentlemen. Here's the squads. It's outstanding, isn't it? We can actually take a quick look at them. As you can see there, Sam Walters on the graphic for the Wigan Warriors. He's not expected to play, though. That's what we're expecting. He's in the 21. He's very close, but it's highly unlikely that Sam Walters will be making his debut this coming Thursday, albeit that could be a red herring by Mr. Pete. Quality looking team. As you can see, for the first time this season, 8 and 10 for the Wigan Warriors are in the 21-man squad. Even Havard and Liam Byrne both in there. That squad is now really starting to look very ominous indeed. As for the Catalan Dragons, again, you can see really solid. Jordan Abdul, the big inclusion for the Dragons. Will he play? Will he not? I think they've really missed him over the last few weeks, gentlemen, I have to say. But he is included in the 21-man squad. You don't know which Catalan Dragons you're going to get in this one, but both lost last week. For me, I think based on those two squads, I'll leave them on the screen for a little while longer. You would perhaps say advantage Wigan, without question. But can the Catalan Dragons get vengeance for last year? Can they win this one? Mr. Nixon, I'm going to start with you. Wigan Warriors, Catalan Dragons, over to you. Should be a belter.
Should be. I hope it is. I hope Catalan put up a better performance. No disrespect to Leigh, Steph. I just hope they put up a better performance than they did last week. Do we know if they traveled home and came back, or if they stayed up here?
Say that. No, they went home.
Did they go home? So, can they get revenge for the grand final last season? No, I don't think so. I think Wigan are going to be too strong. I do think Catalan will put up a better performance than they did last week. I think they'll have been stung by that. But I think Wigan will win 9-17.
Right to reply, Mr. Sale. By all accounts, Catalan were poor, my friend.
It was 6-4.
I didn't say no disrespect.
6-2 at half time. I think Catalan weren't allowed to play rugby last week. I think that was the problem. But anyway, I think this is going to be two teams that are smarting from defeats last week, and it should be, an absolute cracker. I'm really looking forward to watching this one tomorrow. I just think Warriors' squad's too good for them, especially being at home with the Wigan fans behind them. So I've gone Warriors 9-17.
Well, Dawn Baker, of course, a Wigan Warriors fan. She says if they come with the same attitude as last year, she fears for the Warriors. And that's taking nothing from KR. They were immense, but our attitude was horrendous. Worst I've seen them play in ages. Quite damning there from our Dawn, it has to be said, putting the boot into her own team. But hey, fair play, not an issue. Joel, your thoughts on this one? Hopefully, it's a good game.
Yeah, I think Dawn's onto something there. It's true. I think being the world champions, you automatically command a win, and a comfortable win at that as well. I'm not going 18+ because Catalan's far too good of a team for them to allow that kind of scoreline. But you would expect that Wigan, especially on the home turf, will really put a shift in, and I'm going for 9-17. So that's a pretty easy one for me.
They're far too good a team, having lost hammered by Leigh last week. But anyway, that's okay.
By 24.
No. Look, you'd expect Catalan to. I get it, Joe. You'd expect Catalan to come and try and put a performance on here based on that. They'll be very hurt by it. Nicola Burtonwood, she's gone Wigan by 9-17. Dawn and Michael Bell, they're both saying they've heard that Walters will play in the reserves. Let's hope Mr. Walters comes back from his injury strong, quality talent. I think we're all gutted that Wigan picked him up in the winter months. A lot of love here for Wigan. No real love, not an awful lot of love, but that man Luke Earnshaw who's on debut in terms of the chat tonight at Super League. We're hopefully enjoying it. We're the most upbeat magazine show you're going to find online, Luke. Remember, every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. I know it's a Wednesday. It's normally a Tuesday. We're going back to Tuesday next week. It would be a miss of you not to join us next week, sir. You make sure that you keep it Super League Raw. This is the place to be. Right. But yeah, only Luke is going the way of the Catalan Dragons. In terms of how other people have seen it, of course, the four of us are on the screen. I've not showed you my hand yet, but Mr. Schofield agrees 9-17. The fans forum agree 9-17. And on that topic, we'll look at what the league table looks like before we move on to the next game.
Let's not.
Actually, you had the best week, Greg. You had the best week, so don't you worry. You be quiet, mate. You be quiet. You overtook second.
Season now.
Yes, and that T-shirt's available on Patreon shop as well. Stop the season now. But I'll tell you what, I'm going the Warriors 18 plus. I just with that squad. I'm sorry, Catalan Dragons fans. I think the Warriors are going to do you badly. I really do. I think this is a game where, because Wigan lost last week, they're at home, they're in front of their own team, really strong team. I hate to say it, I hope I'm wrong because I want to go and watch in the stadium a really close game. I don't think I will. I think it's going to be an absolute hiding for the Catalan Dragons. So I'm on 18 plus. The fans forum have gone 9-17. This is the prediction lead. Mr. Schofield remains in the driving seat. Joel over. I think Joel was above me last week as well. He maintains his position. He stays in second place. And there you are, Mr. Nixon. You've now got a 5-point lead on Mr. Sale. Bad week for Mr. Sale. The fans forum still propping up the league thus far. That's how it basically looks going into it. There you go. So that is how it all looks. Right, let's move on. Where are we going next? Friday night. Let's go to, where are we going to go first? Let's go to this one. Let's go to the Leeds Rhinos taking on the London Broncos. Probably need to change the colours there. Do apologise for that. But, I thought I'd change it this week because last year's last year. It's now about this year. 8th played 12th. The game odds 1-66 on the Rhinos, 14-1. The Broncos, Riley Lum, I've said him, he's got to retain his position. I thought he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant last week. Credit to Riley Lum. And Akeem Maludi, I think, of all the players I've seen, I think he continues to be probably one of their biggest threats on the edges. The last 5, of course, for the Rhinos, they've lost to Saints, they've won to the Tigers, lost to the Wire, lost to the Giants, and, of course, beat FC in a close contest, it's got to be said, at the MKM on Sunday. As for the Broncos, we know they've lost 5 in a row. The Wolves, the Giants, the Robins, the Red Devils, and a really bad, shocking display against Castleford Tigers. Tigers will be delighted with that. Of course they will. Not good enough. I'd expected far more from the London Broncos. Right, gentlemen, look at these teams, and you will notice Ash Handley named in the 21-man squad. That's huge for the Leeds Rhinos. Handley, of course, was our player of the month for the month of March. He's back in the squad, but you will also notice that they have been decimated in the centres. Momorowski now is out, as well as Harry Newman. So that's a real problem. The centres have been pillaged. Obviously, we know that normally, Reece Martin would cover one of those positions, which you will again, I'm sure. It's going to be interesting to see who they put in that second row alongside Martin. Could be one of their youngsters, of course. Front row, they've got Oledzki still no Holroyd. Holroyd's still not there. So, they've got some injuries, Leeds. They have got some injuries. A lot of kids on that. I thought the kids played well, though. When you consider, I think Ron Smith said in his post-match press conference, a lot of youth in the team that finished against Hull FC. They did really, really well, the likes of Alfie Edgill. Of course, that Ned McCormack's a player. Keep saying this. Keep your eye out for that kid. I don't know if he'll get in the 17, but he's a talent, as is his brother. A really, really good Fergus, McCormack. Really good. As for the London Broncos, well, there you can see their squad looking as healthy as it possibly could. They've got a couple of bodies back as well in the front rows. Good to see Ethan Natali back. Back at number 12. He's not featured much this year, but he again has returned to the squad. So those are the squads. It's at Headingley. Joel, will start with you. Leeds, London.
I can't see anything but an 18 plus for Leeds. We know Leeds aren't playing very well, but Rowan Smith is just not going to let any of his players not turn up, because he's really now thinking about his job. Like you said, you looked at how despondent he looked in the interview after last week, and regardless of whether it's a win or loss at the moment, I think he's just not happy, and he wants to get his players playing as well as they can. If Ashley's involved, he's most likely going to be the difference between a 9, 17 and 18 pluser. And if he is playing, which I think he probably will do, it is going to be an 18 plus and quite a heavy one.
Yeah, you see a convincing win. Bookie's giving London plus 30. Yeah, get that. I think that's a good bet at 10 to 11. Probably not a good bet. Craig Rigby saying Leeds 9 to 17, Leeds 18 plus. Robert Higson, good evening, Rob. How are you? I think that's your first shout out of the evening. Good to have you with us. Alex Sharp, London, giving them a little bit of a wave as they wave us goodbye. It's a shame for London. I really feel for him. Greg, Hanley back. Will he play? I personally don't think he will. Not against London.
I wouldn't risk him. I really wouldn't.
No, give him another week.
I put Reece Martin in the centres. Reece Martin, another one who's out of contract as well at the end of this season. So, it might be a good signing for somebody if Leeds don't retain him. But I'm with Joel. I can't see anything other than 18 plus for Leeds. They may well put a few kids on. I can't see London. I mean, I'd be absolutely, I'd be stunned if London win this one, and they're not going to do it. Even my predictions are not that bad. Leeds by 18 plus easily, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, and Steph, bringing you in last night on this one.
I think, to be fair to Reggie, I think it's my predictions now that I think I've got your mantle now, pal. So, take that one off. I think on a positive for London, I think Parata coming back. He hasn't played for the last few, has he?
Say that again, mate.
Parata, he's back, isn't he now?
Yeah. I mean, he picked up a knock. He's been back, but again, I know he picked up a knock. He's in the 21. Whether he plays or not, I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but I mean, for me, this is all about Leeds' opportunity to change a few things around. And I think if I was Rowan Smith, if you listen to the podcast, for all he's getting, and getting Jack Senfield in and see what happens. That's what I would do. Whether he will take that advice, I don't know. Probably not. But I've still gone for a Leeds 18 plus. You'd think at home at Headingley they're gonna at least put performance in for the fans to hopefully quiet them down a bit. Because I know there's been a few mumblings within the ranks at Leeds there. So hopefully for them they put performance in and it's a good one and they get some tries. But I think from our little try scorer tipping, I think Lum is a potential for a hat trick in this game based on his last performance.
Ooh, you can see where Steph's going now. Of course, gamble responsibly. And of course, if you want even more chat, go to our sponsors, Rugby League 3/4. Great community there for betting. They have a good chat over there. Alex Sharp saying that it's a Queen soundtrack for Mr. Frawley in The Invisible Man. Oh, yes, you can hear it now. Mr. Freddie Mercury on the eardrum. Oh, yes, he has not turned up thus yet.
He's right.
The problem for Leeds
I thought you were calling him a killer queen.
Good Lord, no. It will take a kind of magic, my friend, for him to turn up. Oh, it's all coming on. That said, Rowan Smith has got a vision. Oh, it's all coming on. Here we go. Who knows? He might be riding his bicycle after this one. Oh,
you might want to break free after this weekend.
Oh, it's all going off. Hey,
like Radio Gaga, this.
Don't stop me now. I'm on a roll. Oh, he's still going. Anyway, let's move on. Like I say, London Broncos isn't their problem. Their problem is going to be after that, because after that they've got Catalans away and then Saints at home. Saints away. Two massive games. You really. I'm sorry to say this, but I think he's got to win all three, and I just don't see him winning all three. Such is the noise coming out of Leeds in terms of Rowan Smith. Real problems. No surprising, everybody has gone Leeds 18 plus. And coming back to what you said, Steph, why wouldn't you give young Mr. Sinfield a go in this? Because
Absolutely.
one, it's an opportunity for him to get some game time. Secondly, it just puts a right size, whatever boot Rowan has got, right up Mr. Frawley's derriere.
I think
So,
he's got. It's his opportunity to. If players aren't playing well, you've got to drop them. Otherwise, you're a rubbish coach. It's as simple as that. So it's his perfect opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
The
Steve
thing is, as well,
slightly mad. I don't know why he's going slightly mad. That said, Greg Roach. He's saying this is queen-tastic. Couldn't agree with you more. Come on,
the show must go on. Come on.
The show must go on. Absolutely. These are the days of our lives, boys.
the thing is, you feel for Rowan because he's got to pick Frawley because he's brought him over.
Yeah.
But I said it last year. He's not going to do anything, and he won't do anything for the rest of the season. That's almost a promise.
Yeah.
So it's a shame because he's paid a lot of money for him.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, and he has to play him because he's paying so much money.
No one's undroppable. No one is undroppable. If you're not playing well, it sends the worst message to the rest of the team. If a player can get away with playing rubbish,
I agree, Steph.
I agree, but he's not doing it, is he? That's the problem.
On that note, gentlemen, Josh Drinkwater, you're spot on, Steph. Sam Burgess, for all of his youth in coaching, gave Leon Hayes his head, put Drinkwater on the bench, and he's not got back in the team. This now is a big test for Josh Drinkwater, out of contract at the end of the year, won't be retained by the wire. All eyes on Josh Drinkwater and Jake Truman, who is back in the 21-man squad. Like Sam Walters, will he come in on this? Will he play reserve grade? I would expect he won't play this, but you know what? Stranger things have happened because Hull FC desperately needs someone. I thought Jack Walker was exceptional last week. Really good to see Jack Walker back on the field of play. This is, of course, the last five. The Warrington beat the Broncos, lost against the Dragons, albeit a really good spirited second half performance. Beat the Rhinos very, very well in the second half. Came back against the Leopards, something they wouldn't have done last year, and then lost at Salford, which really probably disappointing for the wire that they went down in that, taking nothing away at all from Salford. It's 4th against 11th. That tells a story. 1-20 on Warrington, 9-1 Hull FC. For the FC, of course, lost the last 5. Leopards, Robins, Giants, Saints, and the Rhinos. Bad times if you're an FC fan. The squads are in. Obviously, interesting. I mean, you look at the Warrington team here. Kai Taylor-Ray, for those of you who don't watch the Warrington Wolves, he probably won't feature in this game. Or will he? Will they put Dufty in the halves? That, for me, could happen. Could happen. Don't be surprised if Dufty's playing 6 this week or 7. Don't be surprised. However, he's more than likely going to give Josh Drinkwater his head. He has to. He's got to show some faith in him. He's going to need him with Leon Hayes now being out for the season. But that Kai Taylor-Ray, he is one for the future, believe me. And Aaron Lindop also in the squad. Not been in the squad for a while. So again, does that suggest that there could be a Dufty Williams partnership in the halves? Because, of course, Lindop can play wing. Josh Fulis can play fullback. So there's a lot of questions here in terms of what team Sam Burgess is going to put on the park come this Friday night. As for Hull FC, as you can see, number 6, Mr. Truman, is back. Walker, we know, will play fullback. There's no doubt about that. Davy Litton back in the squad as well. I think SASA is improving all the time. Pele, I thought, had a decent spell against the Leeds Rhinos. There's no doubt about it. Hull are still on their haunches. There's no question about that. And they're also out of form. They've also got a lack of confidence. Greg will come to you last because it's wire. So I'll start with Steph. Steph, Warrington, Hull FC.
Yeah, I mean, from I'll come into Warrington in a second, but from a Hull FC perspective, how good a sight that must be for the Hull FC fans to see Truman named in that team. It's it must be like Christmas has come early for them, that. But no, it's going to be really interesting to see how they travel for this one, because I don't think they played that badly last week. Warrington, the Hayes thing is going to be obviously disruptive, and I personally would probably try Dufty at the halves, but we'll see what Sam does, who obviously knows a lot better than me. But I think at home it's going to be a tough day at the office for Hull again. I've gone for Warrington 18+ on this one.
There's a bit of sports going on in the chat. Dawn Baker questioning how good Brodie Croft has been, a Super League Raw member, and Alex Sharp, back as you like, replying to Dawn, saying he's got the most assists of the season. And sit yourself down, Mrs. Baker, all in the great. It's lovely. Respectful disagreements between the Super League Raw membership. It's an absolute thing of beauty. Carry on, guys. It's great to see your comments in the chat. Nicola Burton would say 18 plus. Ashton currently injured for the Wire. He has got a knock, yes, as has Connor Wrench. Joel, over to your good self. Wire, Hull FC.
I hope Dufty doesn't go into 6 because I feel like why fix something that's not broken? For me, he should stay as a fullback. That's his position. He's very good at it. Could that be a difference between a win by a lot and a win by not so much? I have gone Wire 18 plus, just because if you look, your backs and your forwards, you can't really say at Warrington whether you've got a better front pack or a better backs. I think everyone's playing so cohesively. It's just a lovely mix of talent that you've got. So I am going to go Wire 18 plus, but really for me, Dufty should be playing at fullback because that is your last line of defence, and he's so good at it.
Well, Steve Cartledge saying Dusty's wasted at 6, and let me tell you now, Mr. Cartledge walks with springs on his feet. Don't worry about that. He's got a wonderful walk, as our Steve. He knows a thing or two about pace. Believe me on that one. But
what I would say on that one though, Dave, is look at Moylan at Leigh. Everyone thought they were crazy putting Moylan from 6 to fullback, and he's been superb in the 2 games he's played there. So I think Dufty could play 6, but the only way you can find out is by doing it, isn't it?
Well, Donna's return serve. She's saying he's in the wrong team at the Rhinos. He's Brodie Croft. Dawn is not going away quietly. Good effort, Dawn. Right. We'll wait for Alex Riposte. Over to Reggie. Warrington against Hull.
Drinkwater's under pressure to perform. Hayes has come in. Thanks, everyone. Hayes has come in and made that shirt his own. I think he will go with Drinkwater and Williams, and I think he'll challenge. Burgess will challenge Drinkwater to bounce back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ty and Lindop at centre and wing. I must admit. I think it's a bit too early for Ray to come in just yet. It's a game we need to win, and I don't think Sam Burgess will tinker too much. I wouldn't. Ratchford's in the squad as well, isn't he?
What about Wrench and Ashton? Are they both back?
No, we don't think they are they?
Let's get back to the squads. Here we go. So you look down the squads. Obviously, Ratchford is in there. No mention of Connor Wrench, and I think Ashton is missing as well.
Yeah, he may even play Ratchford at 6. So decisions for Sam. I think I said that the Salford game would be the game that would catch Wire out after the Saints game. They were running on adrenaline at the League game, and the Salford game, they were just out of gas. But having said that, I think Warrington 18 plus.
Yes, and Mr. Sharp has responded. He's delighted with his 13 assists in 9 rounds. Back to you, Miss Baker. We'll keep an eye on this tennis match. Who wants to watch tennis? This is the only place to watch tennis. Super League Raw, and there's a rugby league angle to tennis. It's worth watching. Carry on, guys. Great sport in the chat. Outstanding stuff. Right, I've actually gone 9-17. Wire. I think we're about to see how important Leon Hayes has been to Warrington. I really do. I think they'll win, but I don't think they'll win convincingly. I think this is going to be a real shock to the system. I think the combinations between Williams and Hayes have been very, very solid. This is going to disrupt. There's no doubt about that. When Hull FC came to the Wire earlier in the season, really competitive in the first half. So I do see it a Warrington win, albeit I called it when Leigh came to town. I didn't think that was going to be an easy day. I think Warrington will win this and win it by 2 scores, but I think we're about to see the hole that Leon Hayes is going to make. And I'll tell you now, Drinkwater, he needs to come back and earn his money. This is a massive game for Josh Drinkwater. And actually, it's going to be another example of maybe how good Sam Burgess's man management is, because this guy's been sat watching a young kid take his spot. Where's Josh Drinkwater at? Can he galvanise him for this game? Before we move on to the Saturday games, because we're racing through these, I'm going to introduce a new feature. Before we go out this evening, we will have question of the week. You people who are watching, ask Super League Raw or the panel a good question. Get him in the chat. Ask a question, anything Rugby League, Super League wise, and what we'll do is we'll pick one. Who is going to have this week's question of the week for the panel, and we'll debate it. So get yourself in the chat right now, put your question in there, and we'll close the show with your question of the week. There's just something on the fly, because we can, because we're Super League Raw. We can do what we like. Outstanding stuff. Right. Oh, Steph's loving it. Steph is loving it. Right, well, and while Steph's loving it, we'll go to the Leigh Leopards against the Castleford Tigers. It's coming Saturday. The Leopards, beautiful performance against the Dragons. Oh, yes, the pack to be feared was back. Asiata back. Lamb looking like 2023. The Be the Roarers. Oh, you can hear it all the way at the DW. They're starting to get the voices back. 9th against 10th. 1-7 on the Leigh Leopards going into this game on a 5-1 Castleford Tigers. It'd be wrong not to say Matt Mullins the player to watch, and of course we would all say the man who is in the team of the month, Mr. Innes Senior, having a fantastic time on the left edge for the Castleford Tigers. Both of these two teams have had a bit of an up and down time over the last 5 rounds. For the Leigh Leopards, a win against FC, then they lost against the Red Devils and the Warriors and the Wolves for that marvellous performance at the weekend. Gentlemen, just put that Kai O'Donnell try back in your mind for a moment. It'll bring a smile to your face. Right, we then go over to the Tigers. The Dragon, of course, 2 losses, Dragons and Rhinos. Then they beat the Red Devils. Very, very surprising that. Of course, Innes Senior that night, unplayable. The Warriors then, of course, took them down before a win against the Broncos. Again, some really smart play. Mr. Tex Hoy putting my boot firmly back in my mouth. Oh, well done, Mr. Hoy. Nothing wrong with that. When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. There you jolly well go. No teams in for these two at the moment. Can Castleford back it up, Joe? Or are we about to see another masterclass from last year's, everybody's favourite team last year, second team last year, the Leigh Leopards? Are they going to get another win and take it up to 6?
I think the question is, I don't know, Steph will tell me, is Ipape back?
Ipape is in. He's back, is he? He's not
so,
in.
Yeah.
For me, that backs up my prediction. I've gone Leigh 18 plus.
Leigh 18 plus.
Yeah, because you looked at the I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it's Super League Raw. It's Raw.
It's Raw.
Asiata has had a great comeback, and it was great to see the crowd, cheering him on. Amon playing so well and getting Ipape back. I think now we'll start looking at back towards a Leigh team that we saw of last year. And I do honestly think that there's going to be a big score on Cass here. Yes, Cass played well last week, but look what they were playing. They're not playing Leigh. So 18 plus.
18 plus to Leigh. Over to... Are we missing a Friday game? We're not missing... Somebody said we're missing a Friday game.
Huddersfield.
We'll come back to Huddersfield. Well done. Well reminded. Forgettable. Anyway, only joking, Joel. Greg, over to you.
What, Huddersfield or Leigh?
No, this one.
Leigh had a great performance. I was only pulling your leg, Steph, before. Leigh had a great performance, and again, it's one of those. When you come up against a team like once against Saints, like Hull KR against Wigan, when you come up against a team that's Catalans weren't that great last week, and Leigh absolutely performed to the top of their game. I just think everybody's expecting a Leigh blowout. And I think that last week's game for Leigh was such a great game. I think they'll kind of maybe struggle a little bit to hit those heights again. And I've gone 9-17, Leigh. They could very, very well put 40 or 50 past Castleford. I just think it's that after the Lord Mayor show kind of thing. And I think they were so good against Catalans. and again, Castleford will be buoyed by that performance. I just think Leigh will win, but I don't think it'll be by the cricket score that people think it's going to be. Sorry, Steph. I know you probably.
Well, he is about to disagree with you, so don't apologise.
No, I mean, I think you're right in what you're saying in terms of. I think a lot went into that game last week for Leigh. I think it was you don't want to say must-win games in round 9, but I think to Leigh to stay in, have even an outside chance of being in the playoffs, they had to win that game. And I think there was a lot of emotion went into it with Asiata coming back as well, which obviously boosted the dressing room for Leigh. And I don't think any Leigh fan thought we were going to get what we got last week. So it was an amazing thing. And I think there is a bit of a danger. You were quite right, Reggie, to say there's a bit of the Salford syndrome, where Salford have played superbly well against the top sides and then struggled a little bit, against some of the, easier, perceived easier opposition. So we have got to be careful. But a bit like Asiata coming back last week, I think if Ipapi does make the 17 this week, I think that's a huge boost for Leigh. And to have him and Brad Dwyer running at Castleford's defence, I think that's going to have them running scared. So it's the first time this season I think I've backed Leigh 18 plus. I backed him 1-8 against Catalans last week, so I was right with one, but got the score wrong. But we'll see. But great that it's on a Saturday night as well. That could get messy in Leigh on Saturday with a 5:30 kickoff.
I'll phone you with a score on Sunday morning, Steph.
Yeah, don't do it too early. But no, it should be a great day, and I believe the weather's going to be fantastic as well. So come and see the Battle of the Big Cats at the LSV on Saturday.
Oh, marketing promotion from the sale. Outstanding stuff. Yes, get your safari, get your shotguns, get down there. Beautiful stuff. Only joking. No animals were harmed at the LSV. I'm going to go Leigh Leopards 18 plus. I think this is the game. I think it's the right opposition for Leigh to really put a marker down. Players back. Young talent on the wing. I think the Be the Roarers are going to be foaming at the mouth at some quality tries at the weekend. And you mentioned Riley Lum as a shoe-in. I think Hanley might be a good shout as well. I'd also think, though, actually, in a senior for a try would be a decent one because such as his form, if they are going to get a try, it'll be there. We will come to your questions at the end of the show. Don't worry about that. There's quite a few. New feature. Something Steph said. I just thought I'd roll with it. There you go. Came into my head. Let's do it. Right. Let's go to the one that we've forgotten about. Friday. Here it is. The Giants taking on Salford, 6th against 7th. Good game, this. Good game. 2-5 on the Giants, 21-10. Swift and Lafay. Go and get your tickets, Huddersfield fans. Go and get your tickets, Salford fans. Those two players alone are worth the entry fee. Outstanding stuff. The Giants, the last 5, of course, lost to the Robins, won against the Broncos, won against FC and the Rhinos, lost really tight, 13-12 last week. As for Salford, they picked up some good wins. Yes, they lost to the Warriors, beat the Leopards, lost against the Tigers, beat the Broncos, and then a really good win at the weekend against the Warrington Wolves. Good effort there. We have actually got the teams for this one. Here they are. Yeah, we have actually got the teams. So looking down the list, Huddersfield come into this in fine fettle. No major issues there. As do pretty much the Salford Red Devils. You'll see there that Singleton back, and Sam Stone, who also was not a part of the squad for the Warrington game. He also is back. So the pack certainly has been bolstered at the Salford Red Devils coming into this game. It's a close one. I'll come to Joe last on this one. Greg, we'll kick off with you. This should be a good game.
Yeah, it should. It's got the potential to be a cracker. Salford, obviously, Huddersfield just lost out to Saints. Huddersfield beat a tired Warrington side. I am going to go. I'm sorry, Huddersfield fans. I hate to say this, but I'm going to go Giants 9-17. I think Salford will be buoyed by last week. If Masters is back, that's a boost. I think he was in the squad there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
If he's
Greg,
back,
Greg,
that's a
Greg
boost for
said
the
that.
Giants.
It might be mind games, though, Mr. Roach.
Could very well be mind games. But I like Masters of the Universe. I think Huddersfield 9-17.
Right, okie dokie.
We were all stunned at that.
Yeah, back to you. No, I just took an intake of breath for Greg. Greg Roach now's turned off. He's devastated. Go on, Steph, over to you.
Well, if he took a deep breath, then he's going to take one now because I'm worse than Reggie this season. So I'm going to really put the nail in the coffin for Huddersfield now. I think, well, especially if Masters is back, we've all waxed lyrical on about this season how good he is. I just think that it's going to be a Huddersfield win, 9-17. I think, and it's 6v7 this.
It is.
So, two very, very evenly thingy teams, but I just can't see past Huddersfield in this. I don't know what it is. Swift, I don't know. But then you've got Lafay on the other side, haven't you? It's going to be a really interesting battle, that one.
And don't forget the sparkling form of Ethan Ryan.
Ethan Ryan, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
Sam Tompkins stunt double.
As far as Steele's concerned, carry on.
No, I think, to be honest with you, this has got, as daft as it sounds, it's got the potential to be game of the week.
Yeah, I almost said that.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good game on paper.
A bit like Leigh Warrington was probably the game of the week in that round, even though it wasn't officially. I think this has got a potential to be probably one of the closest games. Saying that, though, I've still got Huddersfield 9-17.
Well, Craig Rigby wants his name on the screen because he's gone Salford 8+. You know, Craig. He likes to do his hair on a Wednesday night and get on the screen. Shame we can't see his hair, but that's by the by. There you go.
Can't see mine either.
Absolutely, Joe.
Golden Point, that's a good shout, Alex. Golden Point, yeah.
Nicola Burton Wood, she's going Huddersfield 9-17 as well. Go on, Joel, over to you.
So I've tied with who could be playing in what positions. When you look at Masters, is he going to play? I think it'll depend on the day. I think it'll all be decided on the day if he plays or not. But what I am sure of is they might put Sam Halsall on. And if they do...
Bibby had a shocker, mate. He can't be Bibby.
He did, but the thing is, you've got to remember, he's going up against a lot of outside backs who really want that position. And I think the emotion got to him. He doesn't always play like that. We've got to be honest. Like, he did have a shocker. But if he gets played again, he's not going to play like that again. That's almost a guarantee.
Bibby, I think.
Yeah, probably. He gets played at centre more, I think, because he's a good option to play at centre. But
he's the best winger.
He is, but so is Sam Halsall. Sam Halsall's a better winger.
Joel, all I've got to say is not, mate, not since Amy Stewart have we seen so many knock-ons. Do you know what I'm saying?
But my point is that
knock on wood, Amy Stewart.
Yeah, we got it, mate.
Good man. Right,
but instead of Bibby, I'd definitely put Halsall on just because of the speed. His nous for the game is unmatched by a lot of people, and you might not know that, but he's extremely smart. He knows what he's doing. He's a good rugby league player. So if Masters isn't playing, I'm not too fussed. I think Halsall will play in just quite nicely. So that being said, this is the first time I'm going to go with Huddersfield at home because, as you know, whenever we play at home, I always say the opposition will win by 3,000 points. But I'm going to go Giants 9-17.
I'm just impressed you can count to 3,000. Anyway, moving swiftly on 9-17. Only joking, Joel.
Double the Huddersfield home support.
Only joking, Joel. Gentlemen, news just in. Jessica Stanley's loving the show. Jessica, welcome to Super League Raw. Jessica Stanley is a part of Super League Raw. She's tuning in. She's loving the night. That's what we're talking about. Welcome to the greatest community of rugby league online, Jessica.
She's only
Outstanding.
human. She's only human.
Absolutely. Make sure you get into the comments because in the title of this is the quiz on the 13th of May. Be a part of that. Consider becoming a member. Keep your comments in. Lovely to have you. Lovely
Who's your sport, Jess? Let us know who you sport.
Yeah, and what do you drink on a Wednesday night when you're watching Super League Raw? Always a good one. In terms of Huddersfield Giants, I'm also going 9-17. Everybody's in agreement. Huddersfield Giants 9-17. But what I will say is this. How many times have people wrote off Salford this year and got it horribly wrong? So, we all know about Salford, and Joel, you've got to take it on the chin, mate. If Salford turn up, you're in for a hard night, mate.
And I agree. If Salford do turn up, it will be an 18 plus for them. I'm not doubting that for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Day.
Oh, look at that. In he goes again. Oh, dearie me. The shocking these puns. If he had letters by his name, I'd say Dr. No. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Who's that?
Hey.
What are you talking about?
Steph there going down another day, another Bond one put in there. Hey, with a spectre of defeat looming. He's
use that one, mate.
Have you already used that one?
Yeah.
My apologies. I'll think of another one. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, hang on, with more chat.
Keep your gold finger on the pulse.
Oh, yeah. Paul Francis is with us, and he supports the Saints, and he's drinking Frosty Jacks. Good man. Right, okay. We move into. We've only got one more game to go, haven't we? One more game to go.
We had two, have we?
No, we've done the Saturday. We've done Thursday 3 on Friday. We did the first Saturday game, and then I got told that I hadn't done them all. So we've gone back in. We've done Leeds. We've done Warrington. It's always the big. It's the big one. Yeah, it's the big one. It's Hull KR against Saints on Saturday. That's the game that we're going to say. Paul, right on cue, Mr. Francis. Sit back, have a tipple. We're about to debate your team, my friend. Current positions: 5th taking on 1st, evens for Hull KR at home, which it's an interesting one. That Saints 10-11. Now, I'm a bit surprised by them odds because the way KR played against Wigan, and let's be fair, Saints only just got over the line. Saints are not in great form. They seem a team at the moment that are on the edge. That's not to say they can't turn it on in any one game, but for Saints to be favourite in this, I think is really interesting. Mikey Lewis, Johnny Lomax is a fascinating little tussle that's on the horizon. Right, the last 5, Hull KR. Giants win, FC win, Broncos win, a bad loss in Perpignan, but they won't be the only team to suffer a bad defeat in Perpignan. Again, just ask their opponents that are coming to the Craven Park this weekend. And, of course, a great win against the Warriors. Nobody saw a win of that calibre. I mean, people might saw a win for KR because they've got it in them to beat the Warriors and they've got a good record at Craven Park against the Warriors, but not by that margin. They were sensational. As for the Saints, of course, lost. No, sorry, they didn't lose against you. They won against the Leopards, didn't they? They won against you. Is that all wrong? That's all wrong. My apologies. Forget what I put there. Like I said, I was right up against it coming into this. So the last 5 for the Saints, don't panic. Leeds, they won. They beat the Wigan Warriors. They lost at the Catalan Dragons. They won at FC and they won at Huddersfield Giants. So forget what's written there. It's a load of tosh. There you go. Happy days. Right, we're going to start with, we'll start with Steph. This should be a belter. Should be a belter. Over to you.
It should be. Yeah, it should be a great game. OKR obviously coming off that fantastic demolition of the Warriors. Saints with the lucky 1-pointer at the end there. So is it OKR again?
It's at Craven Park.
It's such a big factor, Craven Park, for me.
Greg Roach agrees with you. Look on the screen.
Yeah, well, that's why Greg's a legend, because he's on the same wavelength, isn't he? No, it is. It's it'll be another sellout at Craven Park for this one. I think I just think Saints' form isn't. They're not. Although they got the win against Huddersfield, they're not firing on all cylinders at the moment for me. And sorry to the new Saints fan who introduced himself there. I'd love to be saying the Saints win on this one, but I've got to go KR. I think they're going to put a performance in here again. I think it's going to be 9-17.
Well, Alex Sharp's in the chat. He's gone for Dawn. Now he's going for me. What's going on, Alex lad? Are you on one tonight or what? Look, Alex, mate, no disrespect, but, they're not. They've got beat to Warrington. They got beat at Catalan. let's be fair, they just about edged out Huddersfield Giants. You know, that's not great form. If you're saying, yes, the top of the league, I get that. And I do. They got off to a 3-game winning start to the season. But over the last few weeks, they have shown a bit of fragility. That's not the usual, Saints, my friend. So
absolutely. You'd think that just to contradict Alex there on that one, you would have thought that St Helens would have put a 9-17 on Huddersfield at home. That's in reality. That's and I don't think many people would disagree with that.
No.
They've got Dodd who's being dropped because of a groin injury, but he was dropped. So they're not the Saints that we know at the moment, and until they put a score on someone really good, I'll not change my mind on that. But OKR are a very, very good side, especially at home.
Alex now's in agreement with me. Good man, Alex. Good man. Paul Francis, he's in agreement. He thinks that this could be a bit of a night for them. And all I would say is this is for your eyes only. Dawn Baker's gone in with another Bond reference that Mikey Lewis with his license to thrill. Thunderbolts coming left, right and centre. Good effort indeed. Loving that. Absolutely outstanding. He's got diamonds on the soles of his shoes and diamonds are forever. Right, Joel, over to you.
Yeah.
You've stunned him to death.
No, I'm just kind of thinking about what Steph said. It makes a really good point there. That they've not been firing.
I'm here for Joel.
Yeah, I have put Saints 1-8, and I think they will put a better performance in. And I say better performance. A lot of people said that Saints didn't play well against us. Let's be honest. We played really well. We stopped them playing. Yeah. So let's just get that right. We stopped them playing.
Yeah.
100%.
But on the flip side to that is there's a lot of pressure now. And there shouldn't be a lot of pressure on them because they're still right up there.
Absolutely.
But the pressure comes from the fans, from the club, from the wider league. And you would expect that Saints would go and beat Hull. The issue is Hull is a very good team, as you've said. I'm going to stick with me 1-8.
The Robins.
The Robins, of course, yes. Yeah, sorry, yeah. The KR are the better team, yes. But I do think Saints are going to have to pull out a 1-8 victory if they want to keep up there at the top. Because otherwise it becomes imposter syndrome. But I don't think they are.
St Helens imposter syndrome. You heard it here first on Super League Raw. Over to Greg.
Well, there's no doubt they're going to knock the living daylights out of each other.
Oh!
I'm here all week. And if there's any quantum of solace for our Saints,
use that.
All coming in.
I think Saints have somehow got to the top of the league. I don't know how, because they're not playing brilliant this season, but they have, and that's a sign of a good team that can somehow rise up the league without playing well and without catching people's attention and still be there. Having said that, KR were brilliant last week, and I think I'm going for KR 1-8. I really am. Right. KR 1-8. I just see, as I think was it Greg said in the chat that the atmosphere there, the home crowd, it's not an extra man; it's an extra 10 men for KR when they get on it, and I can see KR winning 1-8.
What were the odds, Dave? What were the odds?
The odds surprisingly have Saints as the favourites for this one. That Saints are 10-11 on evens for KR, which really surprised. Dawn Baker's having a bit of jest there, saying well out, which is all good sport. No issues with that.
Maybe we could go Casino Royale and put a few bets.
It's all coming out here, isn't it? I think we only had from Russia with Love that we haven't got a view to a kill. We've only got a couple to go. Outstanding. Yeah, Paul, you have to watch that on rerun, mate. We're already an hour and 50 in. Outstanding stuff. Never write off the Saints, says David Pye. There you go. Look, interesting this, because I've gone KR 9-17. Schofield's gone KR 9-17. Transform's gone KR 1-8. Joel is the only person in all of the predictions that has gone against the majority. We've all gone Wigan. We've all gone Giants, Leeds, Warrington, and Leigh. Joel is the only one that has gone a different team to the masses. So, I will bow to Mr. Scholes at the end of the week if he manages to get a couple of points off the back of this one. It will be a mighty fine effort. Right, before we pick, there's been loads of questions come in. This is almost giving Mr. Sale, the back, because he's been calling for a Super League Raw question time show. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Again, get in the chats. Do you want a Super League Raw question time show? There you go, into the chat if you would. Dawn Baker's still going on. Oh, are you up? Craig Rigby still waiting for Goldfinger. Yeah.
We've had Goldfinger.
Goldfinger gone. Yeah, we've had that one. Right. We're going back.
Another day there, Craig.
Oh no, Joe. I think Steph had that. Yeah. This was the team of the month. To recall: Briley at fullback, Swift and Senior on the wings, Lafai Hiku in the centres, Lomax and Smith at the halves, Jimmy Harrison and SASA props, Danny Walker hooker, Fitzgibbon Tangio in the second row, and Luke Yates at loose forward. We asked you who you felt it was going to be. There was loads of people in the chat. Various people. I've got to go all the way back. I do apologise. You've got to start putting these in the chat when we get round to them. I do apologise. I'm trying to find them. I can't find them. So, but yeah, there was a lot of people calling different. I think Tanginoa got a shout in there. Adam Swift got quite a few. Tanginoa and Swift mainly. I'll just quickly, one word, gentlemen. Steph, who would you say is the player of the month for April?
I'm going to go a bit random. I'm going to go Tanginoa.
Joel Scholes?
Swift.
Greg?
Swift.
And the Super League Raw player of the month is...
Lost it. Big moment, he's lost it. And it could be a chance here for Swift. And Swift's going to stroll in. Disaster for Hull FC. Defence eventually dragged down. One to go. Swift goes blind. And has he got that down? Well, here they go. They're testing their skill. And they've got the ball out this near side to Connor. Gets it away to Swift. Swift bumps up one. He's going. He's got support inside him. Is he going to kick it? He kicks over the fullback. Lollahayer's giving chase. Saints are trying to get back. And Swift surely going to score.
So there you go, Adam Swift, the Super League Raw player of the month for April. As you can see there, played 3 Super League games, 1-2, scored 5 tries, 2 assists, 17 tackle busts, 6 clean breaks. He's carried the ball 58 times for 501 metres, an average of 8.6 metres a carry. And just to caveat that, if we include the Challenge Cup, he's on a 9-game scoring streak. And in those 9 games, he scored 15 tries. Absolutely incredible. Not just his tries, but his work out of backfield. Adam Swift, at this moment in time, arguably the best centre winger in the comp on current form. I'm not saying he's the best, but on current form, he is the best. Adam Swift, the top player. Gentlemen, I'll start with Greg. Swifty.
Oh yes. Once he sees that try line, he's got a view to a kill.
Hey! There you go.
Don't have the salmon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's amazing. That amazing statistics.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought it?
Yeah.
He has been for me the surprise package of the season so far.
Yeah.
You see so many other names who you'd think would come above him in that try scoring stats in the whatever it is, and Adam Swift, he's proving all his doubters wrong. Fair play to him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What I would say, he's on an all-time high, and when he's got the ball in his hand, it's like he's got all the time in the world. Over to Mr. Sale.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Tanginoa. I knew it was going to be Swift, but I wanted to give honourable mention to Tanginoa there at OKR. But all I'd say on Adam Swift is the world's not enough.
A family motto. Fantastic. Over to Joel.
I'm not going to I was going to make a comment to Skyfall, but...
Yeah. Have a golden eye and carry on.
Yeah, there we go. It doesn't surprise you. You know, you look at, like you said, it's not just his tries, it's the meters that he's made as well. You know, he's ran some. He's essentially done what Jerry did when he was with us.
Yeah.
You know, he runs the ball in from fullback. Jake passes him the ball, and he goes in like a second rower. So, you know, you can't be surprised that he's got the player of the month. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get it again, because the form he's in is quite incredible. He's probably one of the best players in the comp at the moment.
Mate, if you combine what he did at Hull FC at the back end of last season with what he's done at Hull FC at Huddersfield this year, mate, it is quite sensational. So, yeah, really, really pleased to say that Adam Swift is the player of the month for April. Congratulations to Adam. Remember to tell your friends, if they don't want to watch this as a webcast, if they want to listen to this on the way to work, if that's more convenient for them, this is available. The Super League Raw show is available as a podcast on the following day. So it is available tomorrow. And as you know, if you don't download it tomorrow, it'll be available the tomorrow after that. And as you know, tomorrow just never dies. So there you go. You know, the bottom line is, if you want to get, you know, the Super League Weekly podcast, it's available for you from tomorrow. And I think we've done the full sweep now of the James Bond films.
We've not done From Russia We Love yet. The Spy We Love.
From Russia We Love now.
I'm going to knock the living daylights out of someone.
Oh, we've done that. We've done that. We've done that. Yeah, we've done that. Right, okay. So we're about to close the show. Like I said, we've announced a lot today, so don't forget, game of the week will be that Hull FC against Saints game. That'll be uploaded on Friday for you, as always. The quiz, pardon? KR against Saints, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, KR against Saints. Mate, it's been a long day. KR against Saints. That'll be uploading on Friday for you. The quiz is available for you to book your tickets now, limited tickets. If you remember, don't panic. I'm going to automatically enroll you. You will be getting an email. Of course, you get a priority. So those will be in your inbox in the next couple of days. So don't you worry about that. They're coming to you for free. You don't have to worry about that. So yeah, go and take a look at that. If you're not a member, there's quite a few people that have joined us tonight for the first time. Go and check out our memberships. Be a part of it. You get the chance to be a part of your own podcast. To become a Team Talk member, you can come and join the chat on a Sunday, and it's put out as a podcast on a Monday. And the World of Rugby League will be listening to what you've got to say. We're now averaging around about 250 to 300 downloads of the podcast every week. It's going up week on week. We started a podcast only in February, and we normally rank in the top 20 for all rugby content on as a podcast. So, you know, be a part of it. And then you can say to your mates, listen to me on a podcast. Outstanding. Right, before we go, we are going to pick up on a couple of questions. There has been quite a lot of questions. So what I'm going to do, if you permit me, I'm just going to go back to them. I am working.
Show. Definitely.
Right. That's a good question. So we'll just do very, very quickly on that. Greg Roach has asked a question. If the season stopped now, who's Man of Steel? Joel? Man of Steel, if it stopped now.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't think I can pick one. I'll have to have a choice of two.
Go on.
I think for me, it would. That's a really good question.
Do you want me to go?
Go on, Steph.
I'd go either based on
9 rounds.
1 to 9, Mark Sneed or Mikey Lewis.
Righto. Reggie.
That's a good question. That I think Steph's hit the nail on the head there with Sneed. So far, Sneed.
That was the question, wasn't it?
Was yeah.
Or Swift.
Joe.
Sneed or
Swift definitely up there as well. Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, the first one that came to me was Mikey Lewis, but because he's, I'd say the Mikey Lewis, or I'm heading towards Kalepi Tanganoa.
Radio, there you go. I'm going to stay faithful to the Super League Raw scoring system for the Super League Raw Trophy of 2024. Currently leading is Mark Sneed and second is Matt Duffy. They're the two leaders at this moment in time. So I'm going to stay faithful to our scoring system. We will be giving you an update on that next week. It is, of course, round 10 this week. So we will be dipping in next week's show to the Man of Steel, Goldthorpe and the new Super League Raw Trophy, comparing and contrasting. Be interesting to see how that goes. And we'll explain again how we are scoring for this season. Right, I'm just going to bang through a couple because we can. Question here: should the Leopards stop the leopard print shirt? Absolutely not. One of the best marketing programs I've ever seen in the Super League era. Absolutely.
Exactly.
We're not going to debate Croft because, quite frankly, if you're in the chat, Alex and Dawn have done it to death. So well done to you two on that one. No major issues there. There was a question in the chat that I really liked, and that was, saw this on NRL 360. The Australian Rugby League are debating banning the kickoff because of collision.
Did you see James Graham's reaction to that, though?
If you haven't seen it, guys, go online, go and punch in James Graham NRL 360. James Graham tears a strip off the journalists on this one. It's a brilliant argument. We can't ban the kickoff.
No, ridiculous. You may as well cancel. If you cancel a kickoff, you cancel the sport.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
and you know, these people have got to stop interfering in our game. Oh, I can't.
I think James Graham's killed it for him anyway.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Do I sense that Mr. Nixon is vexed?
I'm more angry than an extra in Octopussy, I tell you.
Oh, you've done it. Dawn said no one mentioned it. I said no, none of us would dare go there.
I think James Graham said it right.
This has been a circus as well. Unbelievable stuff. Outstanding. Joel, any comment on the banning?
Yeah, what I watched that interview today, and James Graham said the one thing I think that shuts it all down for me was he said the thing that attracted him to the sport was the danger.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have people like James Graham there, you wouldn't have the sport of rugby league that you do. And you know, and I'm sure that can count for a lot of people. Barry McDermott, Adrian Morley, all these big boys, Key Senior, all these
Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock, all these great players that we wouldn't have seen without them had it not been for this danger.
Yeah.
They don't see it as danger, they see it as fun.
No.
Don't take away what takes from the heart of rugby league.
Spot on, mate.
Yeah.
Spot on, Steph.
Right, it's like saying to boxers you can't punch in the head.
Well, that's it. There's certain sports where there's danger, and I think what I would say is if you actually go back to the start of the NRL season when they went to Vegas, that first hit up that got the Americans' attention. That first hit up, and you know, at the end of the day, it's about tackle technique. That's what we should be talking about, not a kickoff. It's about tackle technique. I mean, Victor Radley this season for the Roosters has shown how you can still tackle hard, but tackle without endangering the opposition player.
Sims
as well, yeah. Yeah, you're spot on, guys. Joe, well, that's an interesting one. It's been a bit longer tonight because we've had, of course, the awards to give out and the rest of it. So we'll probably be back to our usual timing next week. But that could be a new feature going forward. Do you like it? Let us know in the chat. Do you want a question of the week? Bang it in there. We'll select one.
I think, as Steph said, we should have every now and again have a Q&A night.
A Q&A night. A quiz night. Hey, it's fantastic that you're taking up all my time, Jack. But yeah, absolutely. You know, I will go where the Super League Raw community want me to go.
You know, Steph and Reggie one. We'll just get an 8 brood on.
Yeah, I have a night off. I can watch it. That'd be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. James Graham in conversation one day. Don't you worry. The message has gone out to Mr. Graham. Hopefully he accepts the invitation. Guys, it's been another night of merriment, of celebration of our great game. The community keeps getting better. If you join the membership, you become a part of the WhatsApp group. That was sensational last night. No Super League Raw Weekly, and they were all in there getting to know each other, having banter. It was a wonderful, I mean, as somebody, I even said it in the group, it was a wonderful moment for me to just see what we're building. We're building a community that is phenomenal. Great people, balanced arguments, respectful of other teams, I mean, we've seen it tonight, Alex and Dawn in the chat. At no point have they fallen out. At no point have they got aggressive. It's just been a great balanced argument. That's what this community is all about. Become a part of it. Become a member. Join what is going to be a brilliant quiz night on the 13th of May. Like I say, make sure you get there. Luke Earnshaw says he's going to be back. He's loving it. Go and check out the membership. Everything that you need to know is in the comments. And also check out the tickets for the quiz night. It was a great night. There will be a prize on the line for that. Gentlemen, woo! We managed to do it. How I don't know, but we managed to get it all in and all done. It was lastminute.com tonight, but we'll be back.
You did a great job, Dave, as usual, mate.
Cheers, Chief. Next week, we're back Tuesday, 8 p.m, the usual time. Make sure you set your clocks. Don't forget, members, you've got Jenna Brooks to look forward to tomorrow. For the non-members, that's going to be a week tonight. Super League Royal Weekly is back next Tuesday. This Final Whistle podcast will be uploading on Monday for you. Wow, just simply wow. Game of the week's on Friday, in the sheds all weekend. Super League Raw. It's the only place to be for Rugby League. Gentlemen, couldn't do it without you. Thanks for your time. Here come the top performers after 9 rounds of Super League. And of course, we'll go out with what's coming up for the rest of the week. Enjoy your Rugby League this weekend. See you next week.
Here are your top performers after 9 rounds of the Betfred Super League. The top try scorer is Adam Swift of Huddersfield Giants with 10 on a 7-game try-scoring streak. The top try assister is that man Brodie Croft of the Leeds Rhinos with 12. Still making the most meters in Super League is Matt Duffy of the Warrington Wolves with 1,597. The top tackle buster is Tim Lafay of Salford Red Devils with 72. The most clean breaks have been made by Innes Senior of the Castleford Tigers with 10. Still, top of the offloading charts are Sam Wood of Castleford Tigers and Nene McDonald of the Salford Red Devils, each with 19. The hard meter maker of Super League continues to be Paul Vaughan with 1,007 metres. The most tackles have come from Cameron Smith of the Leeds Rhinos with 357. And still leading the goal-kicking charts is Mark Sneed of the Salford Red Devils with 33. These are your top performers in the Betfred Super League after 9 rounds.